Gonna be as big as hell. The punches won't fail.
Greetings, salutations, good morning, good morning. I hope everyone is well. I'm going to let this breathe just in case we may have some latecomers. You know me, I'm not one for really scheduling these lives. So when they happen, they're usually for a reason. Um, let's get in a story in the meantime, shall we? You know, that's one of my favorite things to do is come up here and share a story with you guys. And if you guys hear any background noise, my apologies. I'm having some work done in the home. Let's go here. I'm trying to multitask, get some things situated to prepare while I'm up here. But in the meantime, yes, we're going to have a bit of a story time. What's the word? Mula. One, first and foremost, I appreciate everyone's support as far as the review on my latest project. The EP is Different Paths from yours truly, Kai B. That is on all streaming platforms. Feel free to go give it a listen. Check it out. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I think it's a pretty good start for someone that came from the chat and decided to branch out a bit. You know, took a chance, some may say. You know, self-belief is very important, as well as investing in ourselves. You guys have heard that brought up numerous times on numerous occasions. So yeah, I suggest everyone, you know, if technically or whatever, if you do the whole New Year's thing, it's a new year. Invest in yourself, try something maybe you haven't done or didn't think you could do or was apprehensive about. Just give it a try. Why not? So let's get into the story. I was enjoying a lovely conversation this morning, just joking, laughing, you know. And I was made aware that someone close to someone that I'm close to um has been acting a bit peculiar, a little bit strange, a little bit out of their character, out of their body, so to speak. And for some reason, it all kind of correlated with the EP. So I'm going to try to merge the two together with this story as well as the EP because, you know, I'm in a bit of a promotion bag. I haven't fully invested my time in promoting, but I said, hey, I was going to go live anyway, talk to you guys. You know, it's kind of the stomping grounds, so to speak. So I figured why not joint the two together. So I'm going to play a song, then we'll go into a bit of the story, then we'll, you know, revert back and forth in that way. But the story's about a gentleman who's celebrating and, you know, instead of enjoying himself, maybe doing something productive, you know, he claims he's making money. but his downtime, how he spends his downtime is what I'm concerned about. But it made me realize that you really can't stand in the way of a special kind of love. So let's get into this special kind of love and then we'll come back to this story. I appreciate y'all for being here. Share the stream. Trust me, it's going to be a good one. Short, sweet, concise, and to the point. Let's get into it.
Feeling so strong, hold on, can't leave you alone. Listen, this is your song, where you go, can't leave you alone. My affection so real, come here, something you could feel. I'll make this clear, no fear, gotta have you near. This is a special kind of love, this love sent from up above. What a special kind of love, this love we've been dreaming of. Oh, what a special kind of love, I love, I'm singing of. This is a special kind of love from up above. This is a special kind of love, this love we've been dreaming of. Oh, what a special kind of love, I love, that I'm singing of. Special love, a special kind of love, it's the kind of love I've always been dreaming of. Hold on, can't leave you alone. Listen to this, it's a song, where you go, here's where you belong. The words I sing are true. This song is for you. I meant you meant me too. Oh, what a special kind of love. This love sent from up above. The words I sing are true. For you, I meant you meant me too. There's nothing we can do for you. This song is for you. Oh, what a special kind of love. This love sent from up above. Oh, what a special kind of love. This love we've been dreaming of. What a special kind of love. I love that I'm singing of. Love that I'm singing of. True. Kind of love. For you, I bet you met me too. Kind of love.
Salute everyone that just entered. Appreciate y'all for showing up. Now, you may be wondering, Kai, what does special kind of love have to do with a gentleman that's close to someone that you're close to, spending his birthday, you know, in the midst of an internet space around under other gentlemen? Well, it's come to my understanding that sometimes in this space that we're in, men don't quite know how to express their love, and the love they may share for other gentlemen. So, you know, maybe when they're joked upon about that, or it may be weird to others. They lash out, you know, they don't know how to convey um, and communicate. They just love being around who they're being around at the time. And on such a special occasion, such as a birthday or, an anniversary with your significant other or, a holiday, Christmas, New Year's, whatever the case may be. Um, and instead of spending that, maybe doing something, like I said, productive or learning a new skill, trait, you know, um, spending some time with some friends outside, family, maybe, um, or maybe listening to some music, maybe some gospel or whatever the case you may be into, or an audio book, something to help educate yourself. Um, they prefer to spend it in the company of other men on a device. And I just want it to be known that to others that maybe do enjoy a little bit more time outside, that may be considered weird, and you may get laughed at, and some jokes um, may come in your direction about that. And you lashing out necessarily isn't the most healthy thing. Now, if you have a special kind of love for being on a panel with other gentlemen, even though you don't have your own platform, and you'd like to somehow think that you're giving content, even though you don't have your own platform, um, maybe because you're concerned you couldn't hold your own platform down, or um, I just don't know. When you get in a flexing bag, though, as far as you're making money um, at work, Queen Mo, salute, appreciate you. I'm just breaking down a story and how it correlates to the EP that I just dropped. Different paths out on all streaming platforms, and I do mean all streaming platforms. So if you have family in like Africa, parts of Europe, anywhere really all over the world, and on all social media platforms as well. If you could just type in my name, that would be Kai B, and whatever song you'd like, you can add that to any of your reels or pictures, posts, anything really that it applies to. But back to this. Now, I get that you're being productive in the sense that you're at work. And some would say interacting with other men on a panel at work would be quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Unprofessional. You're not really focused on your craft or what you do for a living. You're kind of half-assing it. And sometimes to get ahead, or maybe if you want a promotion, or if that is even a thing, a possibility in that line of work, maybe if you gave a little bit more focus to that, instead of assuming that you're making content in such a small area, it's not like you're on all social media platforms or anything like that. That some people might describe that as a bit of delusion, right? Because like I said, you're not technically getting paid to do content. However, you are at work, so I get that that's kind of your reasoning behind the fact that you have the ability to get paid and waste your time giving quote unquote content to someone else, instead of just, building your own platform and accumulating that content for yourself. And maybe you're just stuck. Maybe you're just stuck in a situation where you'd like to be noticed. Maybe you're stuck in a platform or a place that you feel comfortable with. Although I know personally, I've heard this gentleman say on numerous occasions that he could take it or leave it, and that it's dysfunctional, and a lot of other negative connotations about that. Yet the dedication and determination to still being in that place consistently, kind of contradicts that. But that leads me to my next song. and then we'll continue to unravel and unpack this story as we go along. But this is Love Stuck, and I believe that's what this gentleman is, in a way, a bit love stuck in this section, in this sector, as we've heard it called. And again, that's fine. It's nothing to be ashamed about. But when it's brought to your attention that it may be a bit laughable, comical, and maybe people just want better for you. To lash out is never the answer. However, I've been in many a situation where you try to keep it honest and genuine with someone, and they just don't know how to handle that, how to communicate that may make them feel a bit uneasy or judged in a way. But this song, if you feel that way, this song is for you. And I just want to let you know that I understand that you may feel a certain type of admiration and camaraderie, being on a panel with other gentlemen. Some to what you've called some very unpleasant names at certain times. Maybe even questioned their character in your own eyes, from what I've heard and experienced. But if you want to do that, continue to do that. It's a bit unhealthy emotionally, but this is for you. And then sometimes love has its ups and downs. Let's get into this love stuff. Just let this ride out. It's quite interesting.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want?
Excuse me.
With Wix,
you
you
can.
have
Music on all streaming platforms and things of that nature. Other companies try to make a name, a bit of a dollar off of your 15 cents. Please bear with me. Here we go. Skip right along here. This is Love Stuck, dedicated to a gentleman at work having a very special day.
It's the kind of love I never found, and I'm stuck on you. It may be so to be wrapped up in you. We met in the park, since then our love's in bloom. Can't separate for more than a day before we realized we called each other, babe. Now I can't live, I'm stuck on you. I'm stuck on you. On a high and I can't come down. Now I'm stuck in love, floating on a cloud for you, baby. So high and I can't come down. Get closer. Close to me, I'm getting oh so close to you. Come closer, close to me, I'm getting oh so stuck on you. On and on I go. It's the kind of love I never found, and I'm stuck on you. I'm on a high, I can't come down. It's the kind of love I never found. I want you stuck to me. I'm getting oh so close to you. Are you close to me? I wanna go high on a cloud. Can't move, I can't move. Floating on a cloud. On a high and I can't come down. This is the kind of love I never found. So high and I can't come down.
So if you listen to the words of that song, feeling love or admiration for a person, place, or thing really can put you on a cloud and just make you feel uplifted in a way. But it's all about building that safe space first. Now, if this gentleman feels like, being on a panel um, with other gentlemen on his special day, let's not forget that, makes him feel that way. No problem with that. No problem with that. The problem um, with that in the aspect of reacting or overreacting to other friends of his, close compadres, would you say? Um, Maybe making a joke of that and then the lashing out to someone that you considered a brother. I'm not even talking about my the small, minute aspect that I may have had in that. Because I joke, I kid, I punch, 4 p.m. But it's just the lashing out that's so distasteful. It's not being able to stand on just being different. And hey, I know it's my special day. This is what I enjoy doing. I want to be on the panel with other gentlemen, shooting the shit that I've never met while I'm at work. I know it may not be the norm, but just allow me to do my thing. Now, that would have been easy to express if you have your emotions in check, but sometimes that love, gets you all in disarray. So you may lash out at someone that may be saying something in concern for your best interest, like, hey, buddy, you could be doing something way more important, way more impactful than quote unquote trying to make content for someone else, where in that place, I'm sure if you weren't there, the content will be going on regardless. It's not like you bring the content. And that's been that's pretty much been the run of this individual, kind of there, but not necessarily making the content. And if it and then if it was, and if he was making content, it hasn't always been in the best of ways if we go back and think about some things. And then when those things were happening, he was very adamant about those particular things not being content, although he was on someone's platform and was cammed up. And, it was brought up a numerous time for quite a while. So I just find it ironic, that now this gentleman is in a content creator bag without his own platform. And I'm sure that if certain things were brought up again that happened in the past while he was on someone else's platform, I don't feel like he would think that was content. It's funny how that works. Do you know what else is funny? How someone can show a certain level of restraint and respect for certain individuals only at certain times. We call that picking and choosing, really. 1 minute you're someone's brother or sister, or you're the realest, or, you always keep it a bean, as we say here in Philly, until you don't, until you speak your own mind, until you maybe go against something that they may feel they're comfortable with. And then there's a certain level of lashing out. Bit childish, in my opinion. Again, though, I know that love, whether it's the love of other men, or place or thing, could cloud the judgment. That leads me to my next song. Let's not get too much in this storytelling bag before we lead into the next song. I believe the next song is Southern Nights. That is from the Different Paths EP on all streaming platforms right now. what's going on in me. I'm just here telling a bit of a story about a gentleman that I've was brought to my attention today. He's acting a bit out of sorts, and I'm trying to really get to the crux of why he may be in such emotional disarray after a few jokes, and all coming from a place of concern. And ironically, it's not like these jokes were out of the ordinary, because he's made a lot of similar jokes about others as well, being a little bit too invested in what may be going on in this vicinity of the internet and in YouTube. However, when in love, sometimes people's judgments gets a little bit cloudy. So I'm gonna play this Southern Nights because maybe he's willing to take that long drive, do some reflecting, maybe even either fully commit to making content, because if that's what he wants to do and give, there's a way to go about it and get finances for yourself in doing that, instead of going to other people's platforms and doing that and trying to claim credit for that. So let's just get into the Southern Nights. Let's ponder on that a bit, and I'll be right back with you guys, and we'll discuss a little bit more about this gentleman and the situation he's put himself in, and some of the struggles that he's facing because of his love and admiration for other men. Shall we? Okay. Again, I appreciate everyone for being here. Oh no, this is Faded Memories. Excuse me. It still applies. Don't worry, I'll bring it back in full circle after this. Let's enjoy Faded Memories.
Keep looking at pictures of you, so incredible. I know you're skeptical. My love is plentiful. My darling, faded memories on my phone. Didn't hit back scrolling thinking of you. Nothing else to do. Can't stop missing you. You look incredible. Looking at pictures of us too. I look good with you. You think about me too. Tell me that you do. My darling, faded memories on my phone. Can't believe I'm mad that I'm missing you. What else can I do but scroll and look at you? Such a lovely view. Faded memories on my phone. What am I to do? What am I to do?
Okay, we're back. My apologies for the song order mix-up. That was Faded Memories, again, off of the Different Paths EP from yours truly, Kai B. And again, I appreciate everyone for being here. When you have your own platform such as I do, you're not really afraid to go live and be a bit vulnerable, talk and really speak from a genuine place of thanks and gratitude for the organic support. So I just want to let you guys know that I really do, and I really am thankful for all you guys being here, supporting the project, and also kind of cheering me on through the last few years. Because like I said, I started off in the chat, you know, I have nothing but love and respect for the chat, as well as the viewers and everyone engaging in other people's platforms and things of that nature. But I'm also here to share, you know, that if you're really invested your time, you know, and your opinions and sharing them, then you too can have your own platform instead of claiming that you're helping someone else make content that's clearly brave enough to start their own platform and be able to run it themselves. So anyway, how faded memories connects or correlates with this young gentleman. We talk a little bit about lashing out at individuals you claim to be friends with, right? And the contradictory nature of, you know, saying, oh, I don't care about virtual battle rap. These are all words verbatim as well. I don't care about these particular individuals. I'd dislike or have a disdain for these certain individuals, and then be in their presence. And then when it's joked about with individual or individuals that you've claimed to have a certain bond with, I just would have hoped that this young man would be a little bit more level-headed. Now, again, I know it's a special day for him. Maybe he's a little bit inebriated or under the influence, and sometimes that can hinder, you know, thought process, logic, and things of that nature. But to take jokes and to get so offended by them when those shoes were on other people's feet and you weren't necessarily empathetic to that. I'm just having a hard time understanding that. But with listening to this EP by yours truly, Kai B, on all streaming platforms, I'm realizing that maybe there's a deeper meaning behind that lashing out behavior that sometimes we see here in virtual and on YouTube, right? Like sometimes when you joke and kid, you feel like you got a certain connection with people, right? Like you know them, especially if you come to the same type of platforms frequently over a year, 2 year, 3 years, even 4 year span, right? So you almost feel like you know a person. Almost, you could. Now, me, I personally know that's not the case because, you know, get up here for a few hours or wave or salute or whatever you may do in chats, but you're not with that person. You don't see that person. You haven't broken bread with that person, made money, maybe have gone through certain life experiences together and seen how each other handles that. And just built a certain level of real trust with these individuals. But I'm all for saying what you mean and meaning what you say. So when, you know, I say I fuck with someone, I genuinely mean it, regardless of if I may have a difference of opinion and how it may come across or lighthearted jokes. I'd like to believe that it's clear that my intent behind those things are not malicious, right? But some people may not understand that, and I get that, and it may lead them to be a little bit emotional. But instead of speaking with certain individuals, saying, hey, you know, maybe it's a miscommunication, or, you know, just because you don't want to be over here, or maybe because you don't hit panels and things of that nature and feel like you're adding to the channel, and that's okay. You're okay with playing that secondary role, a really minute, minuscule role on someone else's platform that they've built and gained viewership and things of that nature by going live and making content. If you feel like your role is important by hitting the panel every now and again, just to really kind of shoot the shit, or maybe spice up something that may be going on, a topic that may be talked about, or glaze, if you will, someone's success, or kick someone while they're down during their failures or whatever, or watch a clip and laugh and make jokes and things of that nature. If you feel comfortable in that space, because you're just not in a place where you feel confident enough to have your own platform, that's all well and good, right? But when other people may hold that mirror up to yourself and say, hey, what you're doing isn't really necessary nor important, you kind of have to be okay with hearing that, in my opinion, if we're grown. And since this is someone's special day, you're only getting older, and it may be time for you to realize that. So lashing out is never the answer. You could do something far more productive than try to, excuse my French, but shit on others because you're working and able to be on a social media platform such as this. Because in all actuality, in all reality, that's not really a flex. I'm sure many of us have jobs. We provide for ourselves and have income, right? So that never has been really anything that I've looked up to when individuals say that, because at a certain time and place and age, you kind of have to do that to survive anyway. So if you wanted a congratulations, kudos to you for having work, gainful employment, so to speak. But as far as anyone envious that you're able to work and kind of be on someone else's panel and sit around other gentlemen that you may or may not have said some unpleasant things about, and tend to have a lot of contradictory traits about yourself, it's not really an admirable thing to me. Let's get into the Southern Nights. I feel like that's what everyone's waiting for, and I'm really appreciative and glad you guys like that. I was a little apprehensive about the length of the song, but I'm glad you all enjoy it. And so we're going to get into Southern Nights, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this. We're going to unpack this a little bit more. And at the end, we're really going to get into the crux of understanding and what may have been said and what makes it so idiotic, some of the things that were said when it comes to talking to level-headed adults, and how sometimes words that you may think may be offensive because you're offended really don't apply. So let's get into this Southern Nights. I'm talking far too much. Let's get into this.
Imagine being able to build.
Again, my apologies for the commercial. When you have content on YouTube, that tends to happen. There you go. Let's get into these Southern Nights, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just unwind, shall we?
Dark skies with starlight, winding back road. Wherever you are, that's where my heart goes. My words may not show, but I'm on this dark road Tired of leaving voicemails, and you're not there to hold. Taking a drive just to walk on the wild side. We've come too far to let it fall by the wayside. Driving past exits, left all my baggage. Distance means losing you, then I can't have that. Dark skies with starlight, winding back roads. Wherever you are, that's where my heart goes. You're on my North Star. Follow my heart, got me this far. Dodging past traffic, losing you, I can't have that. Driving all these miles just to see you smile. You don't know now, but soon you will see. On Southern nights, I'm gonna make this right. This road that I travel means I can have you. Dark skies with starlight, winding back roads. Wherever you are, that's where my heart goes. Wind on my back, time to get my baby back. We may be on different paths, let's get on the same track. Physically far, but still close inside my heart. You're my night star, so close but so far. Dark skies with starlights, winding back road. Wherever you are, that's where my heart goes. Dark skies with starlight, winding back roads. Wherever you are, that's where my heart goes. We've come too far to let this fall apart. You're my North Star, so close but so far. So I'll be driving past dark skies on windy back roads. Wherever you are, that's where my heart goes.
That was Southern Nights. That was Southern Nights. Such a nice little smooth little break we just took there. Song for long distance lovers. Yes, exactly. Speaking of long distance lovers, Queen Mo, I'm glad you spoke upon that. I just realized maybe that's really the core issue of what this gentleman may be facing. Maybe the distance it's just really getting to him. So the more he's on panels, the more he's around these gentlemen, maybe he feels closer to them in some type of way. Maybe he feels more connected. Maybe the miles and miles and miles apart that he is away from these gentlemen, that gap and that distance becomes a little less heartbreaking, a little less troublesome to deal with. Maybe he somehow feels like they're sitting in the same room just talking, although he's, on his device of some form, phone, and just hearing their voices is soothing to him on such a special day. Instead of speaking to a nice young lady, maybe he's missing that brotherly support, that brotherly love, that male on male connection. That some gentlemen may need, but feel uncomfortable saying. And maybe that's why when his, supposed close friend who he called brother, spoke to him about, hey, maybe you could be doing something else besides this. That's why he lashed out. And the only reason why I got involved is because really it was troublesome to me. And I had spoken about this the few times that I had been in a chat before my absence about noticing this individual maybe getting a little too consumed by being involved in some of this content, because I was acquainted with him through the chat. And to me, it was more so a leisurely thing. You pop up, you chit chat, you make a couple jokes, you let the content creators be the content creators. And sometimes you enjoy and hit the panel, but you let the content creators kind of run their show and do their thing. But I've been noticing with this gentleman, I think he's trying to make a bit of a name for himself in this sector. And then if there's any confusion about what this is all about, it's in the title. But I'm going to really break this down a little bit better. This is no diss to him. Like, I've understood and realized from me being around that me saying my opinion, and I've spoken about this, I don't expect for everyone to understand it. That is my opinion. I'm free to have that. And I'm also not saying that I'm completely right all the time in all things, and I'm not above reproach. However, somehow, although I say that, people tend to take things that I say to heart, and get a little bit emotional about them and tend to lash out and want to get in the name calling bag, try to sway the opinions of me here or whatever. And no disrespect to you all watching, but I honestly could care less. I feel like they find more gratification in how you guys feel about them than I do, because I'm very secure in myself in that way. And I can set aside the fact that this is a computer, which I'm on right now, or a social media space, and that you guys don't really know me. So if you have any misconceptions about me and speak about those, I don't really take them to heart, because I'm not emotionally attached in that way. But we've seen many gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, because this is a mostly gentleman male space here that I'm in and speaking about right now, don't tend to handle those adversities the same type of way. They like to curse, and you go from being cool or cis to being all kinds of quote unquote derogatory names and things of that nature, regardless of the fact that you may have had at length conversations with them and they were, so appreciative of you hearing their problems, giving them advice, maybe sharing ideas with them on ways how they can improve themselves in their life, if that's really what they want to do, or just being supportive of them, being different, non-judgmental, and all those sorts of things. But when it comes down to when they're offended, they tend to lash out. And instead of kind of moving on and pivoting, uh, they like to come on here and express themselves in negative ways, and in hopes that people can understand and kind of cheer them on in that. And I've realized that now. So that's really a big reason why a lot of these things don't offend me when people get in that type of space here, because they really want to be heard. And I understand that, um, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, so to speak. So coming on here and, venting and saying, oh, I thought we were cool, or, oh, despite all the times that Kai B may have been there for me or uplifted me or given me some advice, or, even just said, you know what, you got talent. I believe in you, keep going and striving. Or in a situation where it's like, oh, you've put out some work. It's not your best, but I know you can do better. That's why I can't allow you to slack. They focus more so on maybe how it was said than the meaning behind it. And I've never really been one to feel like, I need to sugarcoat at this grown age to grown adult men, because, there's a lot of machismo here. And in my mind, I would assume, guys are a lot more mentally equipped than if they're acting so macho and mature and aggressive and things of that nature. But somehow I tend to offend. But that's neither here nor there. TG, the 4 p.m. Goat is in the building. I appreciate the support. TG, if you're not aware, or if you've had a ear to the street, so to speak, just released an EP, Different Paths, on all streaming platforms. I would really appreciate the support and feedback. Because unlike me, maybe others can't handle feedback, but I can handle feedback. And at the end of the day, it's a project I'm really proud of. And I try to do my best to put out something that is pleasing to me, and dedicating myself to that, so that if others may not enjoy it, that's understandable. It's art, and art is subjective. It's not like it's math and there's a right or wrong answer. So if someone doesn't enjoy it and they speak about that, I have no problems with that at all. I'm going to continue to do what I do and get better and improve and try to make strides for myself in something that I'm dedicating my time to make money off of it. Not just going on other people's platforms and saying that I'm giving them content without really making any money from that, as well as working, because a different sort of mind would like to do both, if that's the case, to brag about that. But again, I don't really understand why there is a need to brag to other grown people. That's neither here nor there, right? Let's get into this other track. We're winding down, and then I'll kind of wrap this up and maybe give you guys a little more clarification on why I'm speaking about this. I really had to just incorporate the songs because I have something to promote. And I appreciate you guys again for being here. And at a later date, we'll focus a little bit more on the actual music, because I am in a promotional run right now. Because this is something that will bring me revenue. So anyway, let's get into the next song. I won't hold you guys up much longer. There's bound to be a commercial.
What do salespeople hate more than anything in
Again, so the deepest apologies for the inconvenience of the commercials here, but got to pay the bills. This is Who Loses.
Who hurt We cry and we yell. Who's right? I can't tell. Ooh, we both lose. At war with our own peace. Silent treatment, no relief. Can I heal from this grief? Start off mad and upset. Does this erase what we had? I can't believe that. It's not worth coming back. Who hurts who? You fight me, I fight you. Ooh, we both lose. Words flare over nothing. This weight is crushing. Oh. We cry and we yell. Who's right? I can't tell. We both lose. Communication just a bruise. You don't hear me, I don't hear you. Ooh, we both lose.
Okie dokie. Before we get into this last song, I'm going to wrap this up with that song really put some clarification on this whole thing I've been speaking about this gentleman having trouble communicating, being a little bit emotional, not really hearing. And it's been an ongoing thing, you know. And I see also, and I've seen that a lot of gentlemen, and this one in particular as well, has a different level of communication with men than women. Again, that's just my opinion, but I've noticed that some gentlemen have a certain level of respect when they talk to other gentlemen. We've called it a walk down here. Maybe they project and try to get a little bit boisterous. And with other men, that tone tends to lower and lower and lower until it gets into an understanding bag. And sometimes, most times, even an apologetic bag. Whereas though with women, and women voicing their opinions, and this just could be me, but it's just, I'm an observer, right? When it comes to women and gentlemen speaking to women on a panel, or usually on someone else's platform, because a majority of them don't have their own, they tend to either be dismissive, like, oh, you're a woman, I'm not even going to engage with you. Like, you're too emotional. However, that shutting down, you know, the need to shut down and not be able to communicate and convey what they may be trying to say in a mature way, that's a part of emotion, you know, and being emotional and not being able to handle that. But that's neither here nor there. A lot of gentlemen don't even, you know, it's either that or, you know, they try to yell, holler, scream, even, if you will, over top of a young lady trying to voice her opinion and her point of view on a certain situation, so that she's not heard. And then when she gets to maybe raising her voice a bit, then, you know, they project that they're the one that is emotional, the young lady, you know. that's really just not the case. It's the woman is trying to get heard as well. And instead of you both taking turns to communicate, you feel the need to cut her off as a gentleman and not let her get her point across, because either you feel like it's not of value, or maybe that she'll make some good points and you don't know how to combat that with other points of your own. So you yell over top of her or something, or of that nature. But it's just something that I've noticed. And again, I expect none of this to change anything, but I hope when you see these things, maybe this conversation that we're having, or that I'm, speaking to all of you, maybe that'll click and you'll realize which gentlemen are doing which things, and what that really means. And when they say, I'm not emotional, this person is emotional, you kind of keep a mental note of that, because it will happen. It's happened a lot. This gentleman that I'm speaking about right now has done that a lot as well. So yeah, it's just something I've noticed. And as far as maturing and growing older, because it is his special day and he's growing older, I'm coming from a place where I really just want to see people doing better, being able to articulate their thoughts and express their emotions and feelings in a more healthy and productive way, as well as being more productive in general, with maybe starting something of their own. If that's the case, if you would like to do content or make content or something of that nature, where you could have a different source of income from it. Because when you try to flex on other people, especially someone maybe that does have their own platform, that you were willing to pay for them to go live so you could get some things off your chest about someone else in this space, maybe you could just do that on your own platform if that's important to you to do, instead of feeling the need to reach out to someone that you called brother at one point in time and ask for him to go live, or wait for someone else to go live and maybe get some things off your chest in a public setting, instead of maybe hitting that person up directly as well, or just walking away from it, because this individual is on the internet also thousands and thousands, perhaps, and thousands of miles away, and really getting that off your chest probably wouldn't mean anything to them, unless you do have some sort of emotional attachment to each other or something. But I don't know. And also, again, when it comes down to grouping, let's talk about that for a minute. I am a part of a group, a collective of like-minded people like myself that enjoy joking, maybe pointing out some of the facts, not fiction, calling people out on their, let's say, antics, or just the communications that they've had, or how they portray themselves here. And that is 4 p.m., right? So I've seen a few people, and one of these this individual that I'm talking about right now, this gentleman, at one point would have liked to be a part of that. And to see that gentleman at certain points kind of try to downplay that, bit distasteful. But again, I think it comes from a place of emotion, and that emotion would be rejection. Now, although we did not reject him, he may feel that way, but I don't necessarily feel like downplaying that, or speaking about certain members of that collective is beneficial. I mean, because at the end of the day, I don't believe anyone cares. I'm just going to be honest about that. When I say we're like-minded people, I believe that's one of the things that we all share in common. We don't really care we don't take certain things personally. Now, there are boundaries and there are lines, but I also feel like maybe we can realize why those lines are being crossed. And usually it's from a place of emotion, and someone can't articulate that in a mature and constructive way. So, really, it's not even beneficial to go back and forth with a person like that. I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So yeah, before I get into this last song, there's been some scuttlebutt. There's been some grown men, some individuals, maybe speaking about me and what they feel like may be a negative way. But I'm here to tell you genuinely, when I'm not here, and even when I am here, I don't think about you guys at all. I'm clearly been being productive. I do work. I do have a source of income, as well as I'm trying to accumulate some different passive sorts of income. So really speaking about having a job, getting paid, trying to get in that type of flexing bag. Um, I mean, it just, you know, I'm the type of person genuinely where I would want everyone to succeed. I'm hoping everyone have a ability to support themselves in some type of way. So I would never use the fact that I have a job as like a one up on other people. But I also see where you guys are coming from, with feeling like that would be important to express. Um, but I'm not the type of individual that you should waste your time on doing that type of things with. And I really don't see the point of me being fond of cats or taking on a cat-like persona virtually, because this is the internet. And I see a lot of people, a lot of people portray themselves to be something other than they are not in human form. So I figured I'd make a funny and portray myself as a cat. Now, I was told privately by a gentleman that I've upset, that was in fact genius privately. But now that I'm not quote unquote the realist to that gentleman, you know, I've heard that it's being spoken about in a derogatory way, which is kind of not that that's kind of that's neither here nor there. I don't understand how that could be funny or made to be funny, especially from that individual. It's not really comical. But I'm hopeful that they got the attention and the pats on their back that they needed, because clearly that's important to them, from people that are miles and miles and miles away. But anywho, yeah. Wish you guys all the best. Appreciate you for pulling up to my platform, because, you know, if I like to do content, I could do that. To the gentleman that this is about, the fish, known as, better yet known as the fish in prior stories. Wish you all the best. I can't for sure say that the connections that maybe you had prior to your behavior today will be the same. I cannot speak for anyone else. But hopefully the connections that you have here on the internet will suffice and kind of fill that space for you. So yeah, I have to get ready. I've taken up enough of you guys' time. Appreciate you guys being here. Gonna play the last song from my EP, called Different Paths, on all streaming platforms. Feel free to give it a listen. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point. It's the first of many. I kind of just wanted to do something smaller. And I ironically, I said about was last year that I was going to have an EP, and what do you know, I did it. You know, I said I was going to do something and I did it. So also keep that in mind when you're floating around in these areas and you're seeing things that people say they're going to do. Anyway, fuck with you guys. Appreciate you. I'm going to let you walk on out the door to this last song, and I'll see you whenever, you know.
I'd rather walk away than live a lie. Loving you is very tempting, but I remain strong. My downfall was that I held on for too long. Maybe I'm better off alone. Could be better off alone. All alone. Setting boundaries turned to crying. Disappointment of broken dreams. Letting go, I lost the biggest part of me. Can't be better off alone. All alone. Am I better off alone? Don't wanna let this thing go. Never part of the plan. We built our foundation over very sand. Want to make this house a home, but the distance is far too strong. Should I just put my pride aside and admit I'm wrong? I will never be the same now. Gotta fight to carry on. Guess that I'm just better off alone.